What is going on, Savages? Thanks for tuning in again. I just got done streaming about an hour ago, but I hope you guys are doing awesome, guys and gals. I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking and all that stuff. We've been covering Ryo all week, which has been kind of cool. You know, every night we've been learning a little bit more about the project, about all the different features and stuff like that. And tonight we're going to look at an incredible new feature that's implemented on the latest Atom wallet, Ryo Wallet ATOM, version 1.3.1, and that is solo mining. Super cool. This is the first and only kryptonite-based solo mining feature or capability on the whole planet. So I think that's kind of cool. So this is going to be a blast. Let's get to it. Before we get started, let's head over to take a quick look at what I'm actually mining. And I always like to show you guys what I am up to. I am currently still mining Bitcash on the NVIDIA rig and CCX. This is not new. I mean, this has been like a broken record, you know, lately. CCX on the AMD rig and Bitcash on the NVIDIA rig. And as far as the shared rigs go, they're both also mining CCX still, concealed.network. They have been since March and doing pretty well over there. So that is what's going on. These two rigs are currently off. I just haven't refreshed the page so that you guys could see what I was actually mining and the hash rate and all that. And so once I turn the rigs off so that the sound quality is a little bit better and it's not so loud in here. So let's also take a quick look at the market, specifically for Ryo. Let's check that out, see what they're up to. Down just a tad, not a big deal. So that is Ryo. Let's also look at a few other comparable. Oh, I do want to point this out real quick. Look at the volume. The volume is actually a lot more than it was the other day, but I'm going to show you something in a minute that is weird and kind of unsettling a little bit with another project. So this is a 400,000 USD market cap, only 1,700 in volume. You know, if you do the average there or the percentage, I don't know what it is, but it's pretty low. Let's look at Swap XWP, another privacy coin project. And this is what's weird to me. I don't like seeing stuff like this because this is odd. I know that they are listed on a new market or a new exchange, but look, they're $1.1 million market cap, and they have $400,000 of volume. That is a huge percentage of the overall market cap, right? Now, I'm not a trader. I don't know, you know, the significance of this, but it just looks weird to me. If you go to market, I mean, look at Trade Ogre, which is super popular for shit coins, you know, like, and I say that's a term of endearment for me. I'm not black, you know, I'm a, I like those kind of projects. So I'm not saying that in a negative way. But Trade Ogre is super popular. You know, there's only 6,000, which is a lot for Swap actually. 6,000 in volume over there, but then on the next exchange, BKEX, is almost 400,000. I mean, I don't know. It just looks weird to me. Tell me what you think in the chat, in the comments. Let me know if I'm like way off base here, but it just doesn't look right. All right, so let's check out a couple other coins here. And what I'm getting at, what I'm pointing at here, is something that we experience sometimes in the crypto community is like wash trading and things like that, like not real trading. It's an exchange basically trading with itself. So it just looks weird, right? Let's look at Loki and see this is a $5.8 million market cap, and they have $41,000 worth of volume. That's like legit to me. That percentage is legit. You know, still hanging around that 14-cent mark for Loki. Let's look at Veil. Bails down a little bit. Quite a bit of volume on 3.5 million though. Not bad. I think that looks all right there. That doesn't raise any red flags with me. Let's go to Beam. Whoa. I didn't look at this before. Okay, so that's a huge amount of volume on 37 million market cap. But you know, they did just fork and all that stuff, so I don't know if that has something to do with it, but yeah, that seems a little odd with me there. Seems odd to me. Let's look at Grin also real quick. Lots of volume. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. You know, maybe it is actual volume, but it just seemed odd to me that there was so much for swap. You know, such a disparity between those top two markets. You know, if you click on the market for here, I mean, you can see it's spread out, right? You got Hotbit, you got a lot of different markets to begin with. Plus, you have, you know, the volume is spread out across the exchanges pretty well. In the case of swap, it was not. You know, so it just kind of looked weird. Anyway, not a big deal. I don't want to talk too much about the market. It's not that important for what we're going to be covering tonight. And I'm already losing my voice again. This is crazy. I don't know what's going on here. Let me take a drink here. All right, so last night we talked a lot about the Ryo Wallet ATOM. We went over it in depth. Here is the, let's see here. Here's the video for that, the Ryo Wallet ATOM live. And you know, it's almost an hour long, but I covered a lot. We went through pretty much everything. Tonight, or just a little while ago, I went over the install and config of the wallet, the ATOM wallet, and then right now we're going to cover the solo mining. And for the wallet video, we basically covered every aspect of the wallet. And if you enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel, which is on the screen right here. I try to live stream at least once every weeknight. Sometimes I get 2 streams in, like tonight. Sometimes 3. It just depends on, you know, what's going on. And you'll also want to follow me on Twitter to make sure that you stay up to speed with what's going on the channel. I tweet about crypto over there, and I also keep followers updated on what's going on the YouTube channel. I'm trying to only use these 2 platforms to keep it simple and, you know, be accessible to followers and viewers. But I'm also on Discord and hit that up sometimes. I'm not over there a lot, but if I see something come in, I will go over there. It's not a primary platform for me at all, but I will use it from time to time. So if you go to up here in my channel art, there's actually a link to Discord and Twitter, and then subscribe right here. So this is pretty much every way to interact with me is right here. If you need to get the Ryo wallet itself, this is something I really didn't cover in this video, the walkthrough. I didn't really cover where to get it and download it and stuff like that. So if you need to get it installed and configured, make sure you check out this video right here. It's only 23 minutes. It basically covers a lot of configs with the wallet, how it works, what folders it uses, how to install it, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I think that's a pretty decent video on the overall installation and config of the wallet and how it works. This solo mining video assumes that you already have the wallet installed and running and everything configured. So just keep that in mind, that we're going from a point of this right here where we already have the wallet installed and everything up and running. It also needs to be synced, so you should see ready down here in the bottom right hand corner, and you should see the wallet section here will go to 100 if you open up the wallet. But as far as the daemon is concerned, we're 100% synced, so this should work really well. So it's all synced up and everything's good to go. Now, some benefits of solo mining are that there are no fees, right? Because you're using your own pool. so there's no fees associated with the pool other than electricity. So you have to run this on an asset. Now, if you are mining on the same asset that you're running the pool, then hey, you're good to go. But if you, like in my case, I have a Windows machine here that I'm going to run the pool on, and then a rig that is going to be attaching to the pool. Now, normal scenario here, I would probably have this Windows machine powered off at night, or once I'm done with it, I might power it off. But in this case, if I'm running the pool, then I have to actually leave it, right? Leave it up and running. So there is a little bit of a cost there. It just depends on your personal configuration or your local configuration of your network and how things are working on your end, you know, where you're running the pool at, as to whether or not there's actually a fee. But the pool itself doesn't have a fee. It's also scam free, so there's no like hash rate theft. You don't have to worry about the pool going down. You manage your own pool. You don't have to worry about you know, your hash rate being stolen and transitioned over to a different coin. You know, some of it taken to mine a different coin. There's all kinds of different things you can do on the pool side. So, you know, if you don't, I mean, there's a lot of reputable pools out there. I'm not saying that they're all bad. I'm just saying that it does happen, right? Where there's a little bit of skimming, hash rate skimming and things like that. So you don't have to worry about that with a local pool. There's also a lot of really great information on this website right here for Ryo. This is hanging off of their website. I believe you can get to it from there. But it's a solo pool, solo-pool, getting started. Let me post this in the chat. We can document that. All right, so there's that. What's going on, Shuby? Terrible news for a YouTube creator? What's going on? Let me know. Don't bring us all down, though. I want to get through this. Oh, I don't know who that is. Grant Thompson. I'll have to look it up. Yeah, that's sad. We've had in my personal life here, we've had a lot of recent things going on with people dying. Just it's been a bad couple of weeks. Not anybody super close, but just like friends of friends and things like that. It seems like everything's happening all at once. All right, so this is a help site for solo mining. It is, I posted the link over there. So this can basically walk through everything. You can figure out everything from this website. Super cool. A lot of good information, walks you through, and that's basically what we're going to be doing. So let's get to it. Let's go back to the wallet, and what we're going to do first is we are going to create a new wallet specifically for solo mining. So let's do that. What did I just do? I turned that on. Let's see here. I want to get rid of that second monitor. Okay. So we're going to create a new wallet here. And we did this last night as well. So we'll call this wallet Shuby Solo. Sounds good to me. We're not going to put a password on it just so I don't have to keep typing it in. I mean, I could put a short one, but you know, if you're going to be doing this in real life, then definitely put a complex password on there. So we're going to click create. It's going to tell you, hey, you know, because we have that selected that we want to be warned if we have a weak password or whatever. So I'm going to choose continue here, just because we're just trying to get through it, right? But remember that you're going to be super careful, you know, if this is really what you're doing, if you're really mining to this. And also, this is important. I'm going to go ahead and document the seed words. What I would do if this was a real wallet that I was going to be using, I would you know, document this on an external drive, a thumb drive, some way, write it down on a piece of paper, whatever. But you basically want to get it off of this computer, and you don't really want, like, there's even malicious software that what I just did, I copied this to the clipboard. It can actually grab that. Right? Malicious software can. So the best way is to not even use the copy button, but to actually just write them down on a piece of paper. And then You could hand jam them into another document on a, if you want to store it electronically, or scan it or something like that. There's all kinds of different things, but if you got to protect those words, those seed words are important. We showed that last night where we actually import. Well, it wasn't really an import, but we set up a new wallet and we imported it using those seed words without the wallet files or anything, and we were able to retrieve those funds. So it's ultra important. That's just one of those things that crypto provides, and it's a level of security that is kind of unmatched. So I would definitely encourage you on your own wallets to document your seed words. The view key here is just for a view only type wallet. You would use it for that. And the spin key is your private key to be able to actually spin, right? So we talked about view keys and spin, or actually we only talked about view only wallets last night. So just keep that in mind. And if you're a little bit confused over, well, okay, so what information can I provide to another person? The only thing that you can provide, or that you can safely provide to another person, unless you want all your crypto stolen, is your public key, which is your address, right? Because they have to have that up there in order to send crypto to you, right? So this is the only thing. Everything else is super private. And like right now, if I had crypto in here, you guys, everybody watching this could steal it, right? With these seed words, you could fire up a wallet and pull in that wallet, scan the blockchain, and boom, you got whatever crypto is in here. So there's not any in there, so it's not a big deal. But and there won't be, unless there might be a little bit from where we mine, but like if we get lucky and hit a block or something, maybe there'll be some in there. But you guys are welcome to it if you can get to it before I get it out of there. So anyway, so it wants you to verify that you've documented these seed words in order to move on. I don't think you have to actually open the wallet. You have to open it, but you can actually use this address already because it already exists. But let's go ahead. I'm just going to document these real quick. I did copy and paste them again. If you want to have the utmost security, you wouldn't do that. You would actually write them down. Okay, so it says the first one is wickets. So I'm going to click that, and then see it goes away up here. So it's actually doing a pretty good job of verifying that you actually do have them documented some way, because it's not giving you the second one, right? But the second one is vegan, and the third one is lymph, and then the fourth one is lamb, fifth one is ethics, sixth one is rumble, and then junk. Yep. So see how it went to open wallet? That actually highlighted down here, so now I can actually open it. All right, so now I have a wallet that we're going to use to actually mine to solo mine to. All right, so let's grab this address. I'm just going to document it real quick here. I don't know, we'll need it later for sure, but I just want to make sure I have it. I'm going to document all this real quick. I just have a text file over here that I'm putting it into. All right, so now we have the wallet that we're going to actually mine to. And then let's look at the actual structure, like what did we just do, right? If you watched the video from a little bit earlier today, you saw that I went into the folder, the wallet folder, where your wallet files are stored. So if you can see it right here on the screen. This is the location of my wallet files for Ryo. And if I go out here to switch wallet, you're going to see the same names, right? Because I have names for each file or each wallet, and you can see the same information over here. You got donation, mining, Shubi, and YouTube demo, right? So it's the same wallet. And this is the address.txt is just your address book that's in the wallet, or that's associated with the wallet. And then the keys are your private keys, like the information that you saw just a minute ago. That's within the keys file. And then the actual, it doesn't have an extension, but this is your actual wallet file with your transactions and things like that in it. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're going to go to the Shubi Solo wallet. Doesn't have a password. I'm just going to click open on it. And then we're going to go to the hamburger up here. This is what this little thing is called. Right here. Let me get rid of this in the back. Clean this up a little bit. All right. Click on the hamburger. Go to Solo Mining. Then we're going to be on the dashboard right here. And there's no information. There's no hash rate or anything like that on here because we haven't started yet, right? So we're just going to look at this, kind of look at the cool information that we're going to be provided with. Kind of neat. We're going to check Enable Solo Mining because that's what we're trying to do. And then we're also going to check Privately Share Hash Rate. And what this does is basically, if you think about it, what's happening, you're attaching to the, not attaching, you're participating in the blockchain just like a pool participates in a blockchain. So if you actually mine a block or your hash rate isn't computed in the overall network hash rate for the pool or for the overall network hash rate, then your information, your blocks and your hash rate are going to show up as, what's the terminology for that? It'll show up as unknown. Like if you go to miningpoolstats.stream, it'll show up, you see over here where the blocks in the last 100, there's 6 unknown. Then that might be because they're solo mining and they're not providing that information to the network, right? So, sometimes you'll see that. You'll see hash rate, there'll be a certain percentage that'll be unknown. And in order to prevent that, you would go ahead and choose to privately share your hash rate. And if you read about it, there's nothing bad going on here. It's basically helping document the actual hash rate of the network. So it's actually not a bad thing. So I'm going to choose privately share hash rate, and let me read what it means. It means when constructing, or about that part of it. When constructing a block to be mined, pools are able to reserve a few bytes for including extra information. Pools normally use this space for adding an extra nonce or a number only used once and a unique pool identification string. So that's what that little bit of information is that's added to a block usually contains. If this feature is enabled, talking about the privately share hash rate, Atom will add only a single byte to the block, which will allow the network to detect that the block was created by solo mining. From the number of blocks identified in this manner, an estimate of total solo mining hash rate can be calculated. Your individual hash rate, wallet address, IP address, or other sensitive information will not be shared. The only information shared is that the blocks you mine will be able to be identified as mined by Atom, by this wallet, Solo Mine. All communication is done through the blockchain, and you will not send any information to a central server. So if this feature is disabled, Atom will construct blocks in the same way most public pools do, and will not be able to be identified as a solo mined block. So hopefully that clears that up and makes a little bit of sense. It also gives you the capability of using the web-based solo pool blocks interface over here, so you can see worker statistics over here. The only way that this is actually enabled is if that is enabled in the wallet. If privately share hash rate is enabled, it's checked right here, then you can actually use this feature where you can see those statistics on the solo mining website, right? All right, so the next thing we're going to do, and we'll get into that in just more in a little bit. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to choose the mining address. So we don't want to mine to mining because remember we created our own for this effort, and it's called Shubi Solo. So we're going to choose that. That's the wallet that we're going to solo mine to, and we just created it, right? And for bind IP, now this is important because if you are if you're mining from outside of your network to this pool, like let's say you've got a remote rig or you've got a remote setup, and you need to get it through your firewall and your router and all that stuff for your local area network, then you would choose all interfaces as the IP address here. And the port, what you'll have to do is you'll have to forward port 3333 in this case, unless you change it, because you can change it. But you would have to forward that to your IP address in your router, right? And I think I've done a video a while back on how to do that, but I don't remember what. I think it was for, it might have been for solo mining on swap or something. I don't remember exactly, but I know I've covered that before, like going into the router config, and it's going to be different for every router. The easiest thing to do is Google your router model number, make and model, and port forwarding, right? So Google, Linksys, whatever, AC 1300, port forwarding, and then you'll get all the information that you'll need. All right, I think I described this correctly. All interfaces, I believe that's right. Let's see, but in this case, because we want to only do local area network, so all interfaces is like a broadcast, right? Local area network is, okay, the miner, the asset doing the mining, and the pool are both on the same network. And in this case, it is. So I'm going to choose local area network, and this is the local IP address of my machine, right? So this is where the pool exists. Then you could, if you're like a power user and you want to really get into the weeds and do some cool config with difficulty and things like that, you can click on var diff settings, and there's some information in here. It talks about what's going on. You can provide a starting difficulty, you can enable it and all that stuff. So it doesn't affect how many blocks you find or anything like that. It's just how your rig is actually configured and where the difficulty starts. I'm going to leave that to default and just click OK there. Then you're going to click Apply Settings. Now, one thing you got to note here, it says pool status not ready. And you might be like, well, wait a minute, why is it not ready? Well, because you haven't clicked Apply, you haven't enabled it and clicked Apply. And you got to remember that you have to have, I got to reiterate this again, you have to have a fully synced local wallet in order to do this. You can't be using that remote node only. It has to be either one of those first two choices, the local plus remote or local only, in order to do this, because you have to have the blockchain files fully synced before you can participate on the network with a pool, right? It has to be fully synced, because think about what you're doing. You're adding blocks, potentially adding blocks to the network. You can't do that if you're not synced with the network, right? So it's kind of obvious, but I would like to point that out. All right, so let's click on Apply Settings. It says over here, waiting for daemon. It knows that now it's fully synced. It checked to see if it's fully synced. So now you see pool status is ready. And we start filling in some information up here, the overall network hash rate, network difficulty, blockchain height, and so it knows what's going on. And if you want to verify your height, you could just move over to the mining pools stats.stream and check. So it's 292.459. If we go, where is it? Right here. 292.456 is what this is showing. So it's actually, your wallet is a little bit ahead, which is fine. So we know that we're synced and we're good to go. And that is it for setting up the pool. So now the pool is running. It's sitting here waiting on a worker to attach, right? I think so if we go to workers, I think this is the next thing that we probably should do. I do want to point out, if you were mining and running the pool on the same machine, like let's say you've got a Windows machine that's also what you're going to be mining from, then you could choose local machine only. This is the home address, basically the address of this machine. Also, so this is local machine. So you could choose this if the miner and the pool are on the same machine. So you could choose that. In my case, I've got a rig over there that I'm going to be connecting to this pool. So I'm going to do local network only, because the pool and the rig are two different things, two different assets with two different IPs. So we're going to click on workers up here, and then that actually tells you right down here There's not much going on, obviously, because I don't have the rig up and running yet and configured. But it tells you point your miner to, and then it gives you the IP address and the port. Right? So I'm just going to copy that. I mean, I can remember it too, but I'm going to copy it just in case. Paste it into a little worksheet over here. All right, and then also they have example configurations for XMR stack. Now this is if you're using the pools.txt file, right, a config file. And if you watch the video on how to mine Ryo on simple mining, we kind of covered this, and you can actually, with that video and the information in that video and this information that you're looking at right here, you could probably figure this out on how to do this on simple mining using a configuration file, which you don't really have to. But remember, we were using the configuration files to fine-tune the XMR stack miner on simple mining, and we did the same thing on HiveOS. So check out those videos. Much thanks to Ryo RU or Ryo Russia. I can never say his username is difficult for me. It's Ryo RU, capital RU. He helped a lot with that, going through the config files and you know, setting all that stuff up. So much appreciated there. And yeah, so I think that we are actually ready to throw a worker at this, throw a rig at it. So I think what I'll do, it's going to get a little bit loud in here because I have to turn the rig on, of course. Let's go over here to, I'll use HiveOS. I'm going to use the NVIDIA rig. I think it's actually the AMD rig's a little bit quieter, I think. Yeah, let's use the AMD rig. So I'm going to do a refresh. You're going to see it. Both of these are going to go away. Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to have to turn that rig on. It's going to, actually, we could probably set it up first. So let's just go and do a, this is kind of cool, and I haven't done this yet, so I don't know exactly how this is going to work. I don't think that we have to have a wallet, but you have to have a wallet for HiveOS config. So I think, okay, so we are going to have to do a wallet. And this wallet address is going to be different, right? Because we did that Shubi wallet, right? So let's head back over here. Did I document that? I did. All right, so I have it copied over here, so I'll just copy it again. All right, so in HiveOS, if you're using HiveOS, then we would create a new wallet, do Ryo, and some of this is not really going to matter because you're local mining, or you're mining on your local area network to solo mining to a pool. But I do think that we're going to have to do this for HiveOS to work. So I'm going to paste in the address that we're mining to and give it a name. We'll say Ryo Solo. All right, and then create. And then we're going to do a new flight sheet. Type in the ticker, Ryo, select the wallet, Solo, and then the pool. Now this is important because we're not going to use any of these pools because we're using our own pool. So we're going to go configure a miner and then select the miner. We're going to use XMR stack and then set up config. Let me get my camera off of here so that I can not cover up stuff. All right. So the miner fork, we're going to use Fire Ice. We're going to use the latest version. All right, the wallet and worker template. I think that this is where this part doesn't really matter. So we might, I wonder if, this is a good question. I think you have to have this selected right here. This can't be blank, I don't think. Let me go back here. I'm going to reset this. I want to try something. Yeah, see, it won't let you go further. You have to actually choose a wallet. Okay. So we do have to add that. There might be a way around it, but we do. It looks like it does have to be added. So I'm just going to get us back to where we were here. but I think that wallet and worker template here can be blank. And then the only thing that we need to add here is our pool address and port. So it'll look like that. And then the password, we'll put X. Not going to worry about the config overrides just yet. We can mess with that in a few minutes. I just want to start seeing the rig first. So we're going to click apply there. I'll check the chat in just a moment to see if I've made any silly mistakes here. Just give it a name. Create the flight sheet. The template field name is required. What did I miss? Does it have to have this maybe? We'll do wallet. Yep. So that field in HiveOS, it looks like that field is required no matter what. It wouldn't accept this. But because we put the wallet in there, we can use this variable, right? Because we created the wallet file and all that. If we didn't create the wallet file, you could just paste in here the actual address that you're mining to, and it'll be fine too. But we did create a wallet and everything, so that should be good. All right. Then now we can go to workers. We're going to choose the AMD rig. I think we do already have. Yeah, we had messed with this before, so it's already got a Kryptonite GPU settings here, our default settings. We'll see what happens whenever it fires up, but it might actually work pretty well. So we put a check mark here. It looks like I do need to do an upgrade, but I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I'm going to click the little rocket here and then choose Ryo. And this is the flight sheet that we just created. I'm going to choose that, and I'm going to click apply. So now the rig is assigned that flight sheet, but it's still off. So let's turn the rig on. I gotta move my monitor actually. Let's see here. Just a second. Yeah, I'm currently like crawling under the desk here, so give me just a second here. All right, that should be pretty good. The way I've got my office here organized, it's not as slick as it was before and as easy to swap over the video cable like it was in the old place. All right. Let me check the chat, make sure I didn't make any silly mistakes here. Okay, thanks for that clarification there, Ryo, about the address.txt. Yeah, we kind of covered that last night, where I was adding to it, but remember the wallet and the Identicon did not like that. It like messed it up and was like, no, yeah, I don't recognize this information that's in here. So What's the music playing? That's a good question. It is actually free YouTube music, and I can tell you, I think I'll be able to tell you what it is in a minute. I think it's called Clash of Gods is the name of the song. I think you can just go to YouTube and go to the music library of YouTube and type in Clash of Gods free or something like that, and it'll probably show up. All right. All right, cool. So I think that, I don't know what it's doing. Let's see here. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a while, that looks pretty clean, right? I did a lot of fine tuning on the video settings, so it actually turned out pretty well. And I can tell just by looking at this that it's working. So if we come back over here to you can see the pool logged in, you can see the IP address that it was logged into. So I'm going to come over here and go refresh. It looks like it's got really low hash rate. I don't know if that's going to be normal or not. But if we go to the solo mining pool, actually let's go to the wallet. And workers, okay, so it sees the worker here. So that's good. I don't know if maybe it takes a little while before it starts showing good information. Definitely no blocks found. It's not even showing hash rates, so this is kind of concerning me a little bit. I would imagine that by now it should at least be showing something, but maybe not, because it's solo mining. It does see the hash rate. So I don't know how long it takes to actually show something up here. Go back out for a second. It's not pulling any information. I don't know, Ryo, what? Shouldn't it show something, some hash rate over here in the worker section though, as well? I hear it firing up. It's going to get loud in here maybe. But it does show hash rate for the worker, 1.7K, 2K. And then if we look at the actual miner itself, you can see that there's accepted shares. Everything looks good over there. Difficulty is adjusting, going up a little bit. Okay, yeah, I'm probably, like I was thinking, I'm probably just being a little bit impatient with it. In workers, it's over time, it'll start showing up in here as well. I'll let it rock for a little bit. So I hope this makes sense. If you want to see the worker statistics in the online, the web-based solo mining dashboard, which is basically very similar to the one that you're looking at in the wallet itself, right? It looks very similar. But if you want to do this, you have to put the wallet address in here. And then the private view key. So you would have to get that view key from your wallet. And remember, you would never show this to someone other than you, right? So this is extremely private information. So don't think that this is normal operation where you would see these keys. This is just for the demo. I'm not going to use this wallet after tonight, so it's not a big deal. So I just copied I was talking while I did it, but I copied the view key from here. And see, it warns you right here. Be careful who you send that to, because they'll control your funds. All right, so close that, and we're going to come over here and paste that in here. I'll click remember me just for the heck of it, and then check stats. So I don't know how long this takes to actually update. It says up here loading may take a few minutes. So we should see fairly similar information in here as the actual desktop wallet, Atom. So that is super cool. I love the interface. I love how they've synchronized it and made it look the same, right? I like that. I like that feature of user interfaces or user experience whenever it looks the same, right? You don't have to learn. If you use the web-based one, you don't have to learn a whole new thing, a whole new method and navigation and all that stuff to figure it out, because it looks the same as this. I mean, yeah, the buttons are in a different order, but not a different order, but a different place, like up here. So it's not organized the same way, but the information is the same, right? So that is neat. Yeah, it says loading over here. It may take a few minutes. Again, I don't know how long it'll take. Ryo's probably hit me up in here. Okay, so you have to actually find a block before it actually shows up. All right, so without, there's no way for us to really, unless we get super lucky, obviously, sit here and wait on a block to be found or anything like that. I think that what we've done here is a success. I mean, we're mining. We're definitely submitting shares. We're doing, you can see it on the rig itself that everything's working fine. So I am pretty happy about this. I think we're good. What do y'all think? Anything else you want to look at? Anything else you want to cover? Did I miss anything, Ryo? Nobody's talking. No need to enter actual wallet address in Atom to solo mine. You mean right here? Okay, I get that, but it is listed here, right? So yeah, I mean, I guess that would make sense. There's not a whole reason to have an address here if the address is on the mining rig, or not the mining rig, but the mining rig operating system. Yeah, that would make sense, I guess. So yeah, I guess it doesn't matter what's selected here, because what matters is in your rig configuration. But I still think the way we did it was kind of cool. Yeah, I'm not exactly following you. Oh, okay. All right, I got you. Okay, so what you're saying is that this is what matters. This is the only thing that matters. And what you put into the rig configuration in this case was HiveOS over here. And that looks pretty good now. So over here in the flight sheet that we created earlier, what Ryo is saying is that this, and that's what I was trying to get at earlier. I was like, this doesn't, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't need that wallet address because you're specifying it in the pool. You know, this is what you're mining to right here. But HiveOS requires you to have it to create a flight sheet, right? I'm sure there's probably some type of a hack on here to get around it, but you know, so we had to put something in there. But it does. What Ryo is saying that is that it doesn't matter what's in there. But I mean, look, I'm all about uniformity and things like that. So I would rather put the correct information in there. That's just me. But in this case, because you're solo mining, it doesn't matter. You guys saw that, right? I mean, it wouldn't let me proceed to create a flight sheet successfully without the wallet information. But I get what you're saying. You don't have to actually have the actual address in there. So if you go to the wallet, I mean, we can actually do this actually. Let's see here. Go over here to the wallet. And what we'll do is we'll just put something in front of here to mess it up, and then update. And then if this continues to hash, then what Ryo and Board Alchemists are saying is absolutely true. I'm not doubting them. I think that it will work just fine. I'm just saying that this is like proof that it will work. I mean, we can even take it a step further and just wipe out that, put like dashes in there or something. All right. Yeah, that is exactly right, Board Alchemist. I'm sure that's what it is. It's just it has to have a value in there for it to work. Right, and if you're looking at the screen there, you can see that it is accepted. Our shares are accepted still, so it is still working. I think it'll take a little bit before this will show up with the hash rate again, but it's still good. Yeah, so what we're getting at is, if you saw what I did, I think I had it on the screen whenever I was doing it, but I just edited the wallet and just put 3 dashes in there and that's it. And you can see that even though that wallet address is bad, right, there's no wallet address that's 3 dashes, then it's still working, right? And you saw that over here on the rig, you know, it's mining still, so it's all good. And that's because the wallet address that it's using is right here, the one that we created. So inside of the solo mining pool settings, whatever you have selected here is what it's going to actually mine to. So we are definitely up and running. We are solo mining. We are submitting shares. We're all that stuff. We're doing good. We're looking good on HiveOS as well. A little bit of load average, heavy load average here, but high load average. But hash rate is looking pretty good. All right, Shuby, man, I hope you feel better. I'm sorry to hear about that guy. I don't know a lot about him, but yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Take care, man. And as far as the stream goes, I think that's going to be it. We are successfully solo mining. Everything looks good. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. And easy. That was pretty easy. Not a lot of hiccups. Everything went pretty smooth. And don't bother trying to steal like the private keys, or not the private keys, but steal funds from out of here, because as soon as the stream's over, I'm putting everything back to the way it was. There's not going to be any crypto in there, so you can have it, but there's not going to be anything there. You can import this Shuby solo wallet if you want. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you guys hanging out. This has been awesome. Pretty cool little stream. I think that was pretty neat. I dig it. I like it. Pretty cool feature. That's going to do it for me. I was just checking my notes, make sure I covered everything. I will see you guys next time. I don't know when I'm going to be live again. Probably not until Monday. We'll see. Maybe I'll throw something out there tomorrow or something. We'll see what's going on. I will see you guys tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Next time. In the next video. Whenever it is. I don't know. We'll see. Have a good weekend and stay savage.